Well, the BRL certainly knows how to take on Mother Nature. The last time they were on the track, it was sun and fun. Today, well, the rain has come into play. And we're going to find out if you're on wets, if you're on dries, and how you deal with Mother Nature. This is the Newcastle Harley-Davidson Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, and we can't wait to go racing. Pitt International Raceway, stop number 2. Newcastle Harley-Davidson presents the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, stop number 2 from Pittsburgh International Raceway. I'm Rob Vitus, in the booth with me again, Tom Carson. Tom, welcome back to Pitt.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Yesterday we had the picture perfect today, and I think Mother Nature kind of turned on us a little bit for today.
Yeah, we had the great sun out the other day. We had a big giant line, and the riders took to the tracks, all on slicks. Well, today, stop number 2, Mother Nature's thrown us a little split finger fastball, and we are dealing with a bunch of different rains. That means the tire companies get to showcase their best tires.
Yeah, you're going to see everybody out there start on rain tires. So this is a great equalizer when you see water on the track, and it's a psychological game as well as having the correct tire on your motorcycle. 6
big classes out there. And at the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, you can see a little bit of the weather coming down. Metzler Pro Stock. Let's hear from the gang at Metzler.
I'm here with Brian Davenport, who's with Metzler Tires. You guys are sponsoring the Pro Stock Bagger class. You did last year as well. How in the world did you guys get on board with the BRL to be a sponsor?
Well, really the way it started was we came out with a performance bagger product in the Cruise Tech just for general everyday purchasing and for the average consumer. And then when Rob was talking about the BRL and what he wanted to do, is like, we got a perfect product for it. That's why we launched the Cruise Tech. So it's been around since about 2018-19. So that's why we did it, because that's more of a stock wheel size and stock tire. So we've got an aggressive product for it, and that's how we got involved.
All right, now you got to tell everyone about this Cruise Tech. Now that you just mentioned it, it's for the guys watching that can come buy it for theirs.
So really, the big difference with the Cruise Tech, everybody's standard cruiser tires the same. They're all kind of block built. They're kind of flatter profile, which is fine. Easier turn in. We developed one that's more like a sport touring tire. So it's got a lot more aggressive profile. It's got a dual compound rear. It's just softer all the way around. So even we have another product called an ME888. Same thing. ME888's a standard cruiser tire. If you're looking for more mileage and more traditional feel, that's what we go with. But we have the Cruise Tech available just for high performance, and it's also why Indian noticed, and now all the Indians are 100% original equipment, all their baggers with Cruise Tech.
That's awesome. You guys will be able to see these tires out in that Pro Stock class today. Hopefully there's a lot of guys out there. There's going to be some good competition. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for some good racing on some baggers.
Looking forward to a great day of racing.
Folks at Metzler certainly know how to do it. Here's the lineup of rider in the Metzler Pro Stock Bagger class. Let's take a moment now and meet some of these athletes.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Tony Tucker from Tucker Speed. I ride the 477 Pro Stock Bagger in the BRL. We're out here in beautiful Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful weekend here. We're excited to get underway here. There's some new faces in the class, some old faces, so it's going to be really fun to see how we stack up against the field this year. We finished second in the points last year, so I'm looking to go up one notch and take the championship this year.
What's up guys? Clay Braun, Round 2 Bagger Racing League. Just got done with practice. It's a little chilly, a little overcast right now, but got about 6 laps in. We're gonna change a set of tires. We're rocking Pirelli, by the way, Youngblood crew. We're gonna change some tires, get ready for the race after lunch. Hopefully we can boogie to first place. If not, we're just happy to be here.
Tell you what, Tom, the characters down there are all lined up out here. The rain is coming down. They're all on wets. RPMs are up. These pikes are wheeling in the rain off the line.
Yeah, you can tell that they have a decent amount of grip, even with the rain tires on. I mean, it's a...
You're right. Deep water. Sam Guerin out front. Clay Braun back, and Steve Chamberlain, look at that guy. Stands about 6'4". He has ridden his road glide to the races, raced it and ridden it home. He's kind of a little more dedicated now. He's running in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, and he definitely has confidence in the track right now. I mean, even with all the water on there, you can tell he's going in there knowing, hey, my tires are going to stick. I'm going to go into the corner hard, and I'm going to come out of the corner hard.
Canadian out front, and behind him a California. Now, this has to be a little bit foreign to him. And as the rain begins to fall even harder, Clay Braun in that number 2 position on his road glide really starts to put some pressure on the leader. And I'm talking, of course, about Sam Guerin, the Canadian out front. And it looks like Gunnar Wallett has moved up into the number 3 spot.
Yeah, some of these guys are really comfortable out here. I mean, you can tell that they've ridden in this. A California person's not that comfortable riding in the rain. I mean, it doesn't rain out there that often. They don't have a chance to practice or use rain tires. East Coast guy, much more comfortable. They've ridden in the rain. They grew up riding on the street maybe in the rain, and they've tried or used a bunch of different tire combinations to figure out what or how they feel the most comfortable or confident going into these corners.
Chamberlain gets passed by Tony Tucker and Arnie Wells back there. And you talk about Clay Braun coming out of California. Tom, the rain's falling harder. He's going faster.
Yeah, he might make me look a little stupid, huh? Because everything I just said, he proved me wrong.
Clay Braun right now is very, very comfortable at speed in the rain. He's actually pushing the lap times to as quick as he was going in the dry.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive to go that fast in the rain on rain tires as he went the other day on slicks and a dry track.
So right now the Canadian sits in the number 2 spot, the Californian out front. I talked about Clay had a couple of tip overs in the dry. Looks like he's on rails in the rain now.
You would have no idea that he's racing in the rain right now. He looks comfortable, and with everything that's going on through the puddles, mist on the shield, doesn't seem to be bothering him.
A lot of the things we heard about rain tires is they have to be ridden in the wet. If you ride them in the dry, they go away. They get super hot and greasy real fast. This is the perfect conditions for these tires, and we see that these bikes with the proper tires on them are very capable in this situation.
Yeah, when you take and you look at a rain tire, I mean, it's got a lot of grooves going across the tread and the pattern. It's designed to channel away the water, but it's also those grooves that are made or allow the tire to cool itself so that the water doesn't affect how much grip you have.
Trask Gunnar Wallett was the winner of round 1, finds himself in 3rd place right now. The Canadian rider, Sam Guerin, back in a number 2 spot, and Clay Braun is riding away from these guys. The Californian out front, number 951, has dropped the field right now.
Yeah, he obviously has ridden in the rain before, and he definitely has some experience in this because he's showing you right now he is pulling away from the rest of these guys with ease.
Metzler Pro Stock, they have to be excited. Obviously, they feel that the tire game that they bring to the table is on par with anything. They've had a lot of success. This class over the last couple of years of the BRL has been one of the biggest ones. So right now we see it's Clay Braun out front. Rain's almost going sideways. Then back into the number 2 spot for the moment, Sam Guerin, but he comes under attack from Gunnar Wallett, and Tony Tucker is now in this freight train running down this top 3.
Yeah, one thing about it, I mean, when you get out front, you're not dealing with the spray from the other motorcycle. I mean, you don't have that mist on your shield like you do if you're back in 2nd or 3rd. So it's a couple less things you have to worry about, and it makes it a little bit easier to concentrate and continue moving forward on the racetrack.
Gunnar Wallett right now looks to put some pressure on Sam Guerin. Guerin in the 2 spot. Gunnar Wallett, Trask Turbo. He is in the roost right now. You see Tony Tucker come down. Here comes Arnie Wells on the Suburban Sly Fox ride.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, when we talk about that mist, when you're behind another motorcycle like that and you see all that mist and rain coming up off of the track in the back of the motorcycle, that's just one more thing that you have to concentrate on to try and keep going fast without making mistakes and moving forward.
They've settled into their pace right now. It doesn't look like anybody's really pushing the envelope. They're hitting their lines. You still see that Gunnar Wallett on the Trask Turbo rides smooth on the throttle. He's just rolling into it, not whacking and banging gears. A lot of these bikes have gone to what they call GP shift. Traditionally, you hear one down, the rest up. They'll flip the mechanism in there, so the first gear is up, and as they're speeding, they downshift. As they set up for corners, they upshift. And it took a couple of these riders a little bit of time to get comfortable with it. Now they're all very comfortable with it, and it really helps in this environment with the technique.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, Gunnar, he backed off a little bit, but maybe that's by design to get out of what we were talking about, that roost and that spray from the other bike, and maybe he's getting a little bit better feel for the track. I mean, you can see he's losing a little bit of time right now, but the race has several laps to go, and I mean, the more comfortable you get riding in the rain and you feel the track out, he may be able to put on a charge towards the end.
Opening up a big lead is Clay Braun. That's a rider going a lap down right now. I think that may be Cody Melton out there. I have to look at the number as he comes by. There goes the number 86 machine of Gunnar Olette. Now, Gunnar picked up a win at round 1, so right now he may be doing a little points management. I'm sure Shane Narbone, Nick Trask, and Brian and the crew over at Trask said, listen, this is how we're going to win this title. On your bad days, you don't throw it on the ground, and when you can, you go take your win.
Yeah, you don't definitely win a championship on the first race, but you can definitely lose a championship on your first or second race. So manage the situation today in the rain and come back even stronger for the third round of the BRL series and put it down there, continue to build that lead for the championship. And at the end of the season, hopefully you're the guy walking out of there with the big cup.
Tony Tucker, a shop owner out of Utah, we mentioned, BST carbon fiber wheel equipped, the BST7s. They became available after they were developed so that they can be used on these baggers. And there he is putting in some good work out there. Got his rain tires. And he's looked to be putting in some very aggressive laps as well. Not backing it in there, but definitely on the gas. Has those rear set pegs, and obviously the handlebars much lower in the attack position. These riders ducking in behind that fairing. Just that quick, the white flag's out. Tony Tucker and the rest of the crew out there. Clay Braun way out front. Here he comes. Joe Sanderson, Rep 101, the Phantom Racing Machine. Now, Joe's going to be in a couple different classes. We're going to see him through the weekend, but he's getting through this rain just fine.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be having any problem out there. He's getting a feel for the tires, the corner, and how everything's working, and I think you're going to see he'll just get better throughout the day.
Well, Clay Braun is going to get better and better and better as this race wore on. The Californian put those rain slicks on, and he became absolutely a man possessed out there. Attacked this racetrack in the rain.
Yeah, he definitely is a wet weather rider, and he just showed everybody here today at Pittsburgh International Raceway. He came here, he meant business in the dry and definitely in the wet.
So Clay Braun, in these wet conditions, the Californian continues to impress. And I know he'll be taking a back road grid start in that Bagger GP class coming up later in the day. But for right now, he looks to pick up a win at the Newcastle Harley-Davidson presents the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers Metzler Pro Stock Bagger class. He's a barber, so if you want the world's fastest haircut ever, maybe Clay Braun is your guy. He's certainly talented in many, many ways. We've had a chance to talk to him and watch him in action. Very entertaining individual. Likes to have a good time. He wants to party on a Harley, he says. Right now, I think he's going to be partying extra hardy tonight. Down the front straight, still pushing the envelope. White flag's out for that individual, turning to checker flag for Clay Braun.
Look at that celebration, hand off the handlebar. He's pretty excited to come from California and win on the wet track here at Pittsburgh International Raceway.
Gunnar Olette putting in solid work behind him. Tony Tucker. Big drag race down towards the checkers, and Tony Tucker and Gunnar putting in some great work out there. Joe Sanderson. Here comes Arnie Wells on the Sly Glide, Suburban Road Glide. They built that bike out of the Drag Specialties catalog. Joe Huff did. They took it to NVP, big trade show, and presented it to the folks there. Lineup is 10 of the fastest bagger riders in the rain we've ever seen. You go down to the podium. find out how this one played out.
Clay Braun, Metzler Pro Stock winner of round 2. Clay, you faced a lot of adversity Friday. You've gone down a number of times in that turn 1 this weekend, but hey, you drove all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast to put it on this top step. How does it feel standing here right now?
It feels good. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for the support and, you know, the team support from Runlet Racing and everything that I have going on. I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't have, you know, the team support. So it's cool to have everyone backing me and just the love for Party on Harley. So I would like to come back to Illinois and hopefully be back on the box. So I love this shit. Boop, 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 boop. I love this shit. And, you know, I won't stop. I'll be here next round.
Give it up for Clay Braun, your first place finisher in the Pro Stock, and we look forward to seeing him round 3.
Podium in Pro Stock is awesome. Let's find out a little bit more. It goes behind the scenes. Kristen was down in the paddock with the gang from Klotz.
We have Luke Bartow here with Cometic Caskets and Klotz Synthetics. Y'all say that 5 times fast, really hard. Now, how did you guys get involved with the BRL?
We actually ran into Rob himself at MVP in Louisville a little while back, and he invited us out here and we worked some things out, and so yeah, we're out here and happy to be here.
Now, running into Rob and getting him to stop for a second is really hard, so I'm impressed because I haven't even seen him this whole weekend. But will you just tell us a little bit about your guys' products and things that y'all are selling this weekend that we could maybe see out there?
Yeah, so we got a lot of gasket kits. We have a lot of stuff for the Milwaukee 8s, the shovel heads, things like that from Cometic. Making a lot of stuff. Klotz Synthetics, we're doing a lot of new oil change kits, all kinds of filter cleaners, filter oils, chain lubes. And so that's been helping out a lot of the guys. And otherwise, we're just keeping everyone on the track.
All right, keeping everyone on the track, that's always a good thing. Will we be able to see you guys the rest of the year with the BRL?
I think we're going to be at 1 or 2 more the rest of the year here. We're figuring that out still. But hopefully, we're hoping to be out again.
Sweet. Well, it's awesome talking to you, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you the rest of the year.
Yeah, thank you.
Newcastle Harley-Davidson presents the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. The rain has fallen. The action is heating up the track. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more race action from round 2, Pitt International Raceway. Newcastle Harley-Davidson presents the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. We're back in the rain, Pitt International Raceway. At this moment, it's the Zippers ATU. That's a great lineup, but let's meet some of the fast guys we're going to see in action.
Here with Corey Cowan, round 1 down, swept the podium, ATU and FS Cup. You're on top of the podium. How do you feel about yesterday's performance?
Yesterday's performance was great. I was pretty surprised that we were able to get here. You know, we were a day late with the equipment showing up, and I didn't get any practice time on Friday. But I was able to resolve the couple of issues and learn the track, I thought, fairly well. And yeah, everything worked out for us. So I was pretty excited about that. So hopefully we can continue the trend today.
We're here, round 2. There's a little rain in the forecast. We're not sure if it will rain, but if it does, do you have any experience?
Racing in the rain? Yeah, I have experience. My experience is that I don't really care for it. It's fine, but I don't prefer it, and it's really just a risk and reward thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, you know, I'm hoping that everybody else is mounting rain tires and keeping the rain gods away, and so I don't really have any set out at the moment, and I'll just kind of see what happens. So if it rains, it rains.
Round 2, we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't rain, but if it does, these guys are gonna race regardless, and we'll see. Josh Baird, round 1 is done. 2nd in ATU Cup, 3rd in FS Cup. You put it on the podium. What can we expect from you in round 2 today?
Well, I'm hoping to be on top of the box today. We made some changes last night, went out and practiced, and they were pretty positive changes, so hopefully that'll transfer into the racing. I'm hoping for some rain. I don't mind riding in the rain, I like it, so it's a great equalizer, so we'll see what happens in that.
So you're the first guy today that is actually excited about rain, if it actually does rain. Why are you confident racing in the rain?
It's just fun, man. It brings a whole nother element to racing, and that's what we're all here to do, is have some fun, and why not throw something out there that makes everyone think about what they got to do a lot more.
Round 2 today, if it rains, this guy is going to be really excited.
Well, talk about rain and talk about the whole shot. They got those rain tires hooked up, Tom Carson. Drag race down in the turn number 1, looks like Corey Cowan. Josh Baird up the inside on the FTR. He's very comfortable in the rain, I'd say.
Yeah, you can tell he feels comfortable out there because he's really not backing off, and he just went through that big puddle right there, splashing. I mean, that kind of breaks your concentration for a moment. You have to know what you're doing when you go down that straightaway, still over 100 miles an hour, and throw that motorcycle into that corner. You better have confidence in the traction that those tires are providing.
Josh Baird in the number 2 spot, Lloyd's Garage Indian. The gang from Lloyd's Garage picked up sponsors at this event. They had the folks from Johnny K's come on board, and we know Tom Ronkovich and the crew came down there, and they were hanging out close with the crew all weekend long. And this drag race down the back straight shows how even a Pan American and an FTR in this kind of configuration are. There's not a lot you could do with the ECUs. There's not a ton of tuning that these bikes allow you to do. You know, obviously, when you have restrictions in place, there's ways, and these things are super evenly matched.
Yeah, you can see that it's going to be a great race because they are so evenly matched. And I mean, this is where it comes down to the rider input. Maybe somebody's a little bit more confident in the rain or running those rain tires, or maybe they're a little bit more confident laying it over a little farther, which makes them or allows them to go through that corner a little bit faster or exit the corner a little bit better.
Robbie Lane's Alloy Art, he sent Charles, he's their driver, from California to Pitt, drop the bikes off. He's going to pick them up. He's going to head home. They'll get ready to go. They'll make the trip back to Blackhawk Raceway. So these guys are traveling from California all the way across the country to be part of this. Lloyd's Garage, they have places, whether it's at Sturgis or on the East Coast, they have something for you as well. Drag race, front straight. Good little battle shaping up, and of course the Zippers ATU. ATU, American Twins Unlimited. So any of the Buells that have been out there, any of the Harleys, the Big Twins, the Baggers, I'm thinking someday somebody's gonna have a V-Rod.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more guys get interested in this class because it has opened a new door for them. I mean, the BRL has done a great job of bringing in some different varieties of classes and options for these guys. And you have the guy out there in the spectator, and he's like, hey, I can go to the shop and I can get me a Pan American and I can do some modifications, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to race just like they're doing here today.
Thing is, you could go to the parking lot at a BRL race, because we've actually had this done. There's so many bikes in the parking lot, you could get one of those, put some safety wire on, tape it up, and come battle.
Get right out on the track.
Look at this one, Tom. Look at this one heating up.
Yeah, these guys are going back and forth. I mean, this is exciting, especially when you look at the conditions.
Josh Baird right now, I think he's sitting there laying in wait. and he's closing right up to Corey Cowan. Now, Corey Cowan, as we've watched before, he'll give you a quick look over the shoulder, but right now, full focus, 100%.
Yeah, you could see his sizing him up a little bit. I mean, he pulled up on him there pretty quickly, and then he just kind of backed off. So I think he's waiting till the perfect opportunity, and you're going to see him go right on by.
The word's out of the Lloyd Garage paddock, they're building a brand new big twin, and we're going to see that at Blackhawk Farms. I can't wait to see the work. They're magicians. They're craftsmen when it comes to building these bikes. And boy, things have really gotten close up front now. Alloy Art, rider number 1, Corey Cowan. Lloyd's Garage, behind him, Josh Baird. These two have broken the field right now. They pulled away. But all you need are 2 guys to have a great race.
Yeah, they're definitely putting on a show for the spectators here today. And, I mean, I'm excited to watch this because you don't really know what's going to happen. And, I mean, one little mistake and we have a pass.
Dan Fitzmaurice from Zippers said, I want to be part of the class where it's a run what you brung. We like things a little looser, a little freer, and he got exactly what he wanted for when Zippers tagged onto the ATU.
Look how close it is down that front straightaway. I mean, these bikes are definitely very well or evenly matched. I mean, they're putting on a great battle out here.
And you mentioned being in that wake, the roost coming off of the back wheel right now. Josh Baird's been in that the whole time. In dirt bike racing, you might see him pull tear-offs and different things like that to get rid of it. The rain doesn't, it's instantly back on the shield, so that really isn't a big advantage.
No, and if you look, I mean, and you watch these riders' heads a little bit, sometimes you'll see them maybe turn their head a little bit to one side or the other, and that is to help get some of that moisture off of the shield to get a little bit clearer view.
Baird tried to come up the inside. Cowan went a little wide in that corner. Tom, if he does it again, that's an invitation for a pass.
That's what I say. He's sizing him up. He's kind of watching to see what's going on there, and you're going to see a pass here, I think, shortly.
Well, Corey Cowan, very savvy. He was out at the Willow Springs Raceway earlier this year. We had a BRL regional race. They had 9 brand new riders. So when we get out to Willow at the end of the year, there's going to be even more folks join up with the BRL. These riders right now, they're evenly matched. I think we're going to see more and more people, though. That's my call.
Yeah, when you get out to California, you're going to see a lot more riders in this class, and it's definitely going to grow exponentially.
That's a big number, and there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to come out and want to be part of it. Corey Cowan, now, has he started to break away? Is that what we're seeing? Boy, I believe it is.
Yeah, he definitely pulled out there a little bit. Either he's made a couple really good executions on a couple corners, entering and exiting, and he definitely got a little bit of time in there on him.
You talk about these corners, and that's what they always talk about, the races won and lost in the corners. Josh Baird may have given back just a little bit too much. Oh, those liquid-cooled V-twin American technology-based machines. And just that quick, Corey Cowan gives back that little lead he had, and Josh Baird is right back all over him.
Yeah, and you can see, look at the roost and the mist coming off of the back of these bikes. The concentration that it takes to stay that close, to be that close to your competitor, to size him up, to know that the goal is to make the pass, it takes a lot out of a rider.
I have to think that Josh Baird's very comfortable being this close to Corey Cowan. Now, Corey's not a rider that takes unnecessary risks. Safety's always something that he addresses in the riders meeting. He knows that everybody's got to go to work on Monday, and they want them to have a great experience. They want to have a great race and a fierce battle, but they want it done safely.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect between the racers out here, and I mean, you have to be able to trust your competitor to know that you can get beside him going at this speed and have an idea what he's going to do or not going to do, so you're comfortable making that same kind of move or commitment.
The commitment right now, I think, is to try to move to the head of the class, and Josh Baird continues to apply pressure. Not the unnecessary risk pressure, but he's putting it there so that Cowan knows that if he makes an adjustment, Josh Baird can retaliate quickly.
Yeah, he's trying everything he can back there, and I mean, you see he's going different lines in and out of the corners, and I mean, trying to go in harder, maybe come out a little bit stronger, exiting the corner, and I mean, the goal of a racer is to pass whoever's in front of you or get to the checkered flag first.
We're going to see some lap traffic coming up, and that could play a big part of this. One hand off the handlebar by Cowan. Baird still streaks by, and he's made it up even closer. I think we're within 5 or 6 bike lengths, big high-speed straightaway. And we talked about lap riders. Is this an opportunity for them to get quickly crowned, or is this guy going to hold them up? We're going to see. Baird is right there.
Yeah, look at the draft, and he's going to make a run for it. I think he's going to go. He is going for it right now.
Up the inside, Josh Baird goes on Cowan. Cowan has to pick it up. They tip it in, and Josh Baird has picked up the lead over the alloy art ride of Corey Cowan. And Cowan, he comes back just
right
as
back
quick.
at him.
And again, these wet conditions, these riders have to not only be careful of their line selection, but the rain that's coming down, and it's still a big drag race down the back. Josh Baird liked that lead, that clean air for just a minute, but he wants to get back up there.
Yeah, I think he kind of got surprised a little bit that he was able to make that pass stick, and sometimes that's all you need is a little bit of boost that, like, hey, I just got past, but it kind of gets your adrenaline going, and he was able to get right back past him and get right back to the front.
Zippers ATU, Corey Cowan, rider number 1 is out front. Baird, number 42, on the Lloyd's Garage Indian, has been up front, but Tom, it doesn't count until the checkers comes out.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, he's kind of pulling away a little bit, so either he found himself a little bit of time, maybe he's even a little bit more confident now that he got past and had to make a repass for the lead, because he's actually kind of putting a little gap on second place now.
It's either that or that bike had a little bit of a mechanical right now, because Josh Baird hasn't been that far back at any point in this race. We see Corey Cowan, rider number 1, Alloy Art Pan American gang. And I believe he comes across the line and he is able to pick up the checkered flag and the win. Corey Cowan, Josh Baird in the number 2 spot, and the Zippers ATU class in the rain, stop number 2 of the Bagger Racing League. The gangs from Drag Specialties have parts, tires, bars, grips, chains, sprockets for all these. Here comes Baird up beside him.
Little show of appreciation and respect for the other rider. Both of them with a thumbs up.
These riders certainly do have a lot of respect for each other. Speaking of respect, down on the podium, Kristen Banks is going to show you how it's done.
Corey Cowan, Zippers ATU champion. Corey, 4th time this weekend up on the podium. Now in this race, you had Josh really putting pressure on you. Could you feel that pressure throughout the race?
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to hear him all race long. He was behind me and close. He actually did pass me going into turn 3, I think on the last lap, and he missed a shift going down the hill in the back section, and I was able to pass him back immediately, and I just held a little bit of a tight line to make sure that he wasn't able to come back around. And it's nice to be able to have competitors that you can trust intimately on the track at speed like that, and I felt comfortable and confident the whole time, and I was able to pull off the win, so it was a great weekend.
Congratulations on that win in ATU.
Newcastle Harley-Davidson presents the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be Pitt International Raceway and our biggest class of the weekend.
Nelson right out front, dominating the main event. Winnipeg is the world champion. This stadium's going nuts. Give it up for the Scotty Brothers riders.
I always looked at him as invincible on the track. He was awesome.
Actually saw his shadow, and I knew it was coming.
Tragic accident that left one of our recent Olympians paralyzed.
Not being able to move anything and realizing, wow, it happened to me.
Gorgeous raceway, and obviously the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. There's a lot of action going on, but one of the great parts of our program is we have some of the best sponsors in the game. and I want to take this opportunity to go trackside and hear directly from them.
Here with Larry Mills, DP Brakes. Round 2 is today, but let's go back and do a round 1 recap. What'd you see yesterday?
Well, yesterday was phenomenal, really. I mean, the crowd was incredible. You know, it took a lot of time for a lot of people coming in, but they were patient and they were here. So, but you know, the racing was great. DP were part of the FS Cup yesterday, so there was a great turnout of riders, and just overall, it was a great day of racing.
It was a great day yesterday. We have another full day today, round 2. How excited are you?
We're very excited. Hopefully the rain's going to hold off, but you know what? We have rain tires, so I mean, they're going to get through it, and you know, same again. Hopefully another great day of racing. We're excited.
We're excited too. Let's go racing. Hey guys, we're here with Michael Peterson with Andrews Products, who is sponsoring the Big Twins class today. Can you just tell me how you guys got on board with the BRL and being a sponsor?
Well, I've been longtime friends with Rob and Lon, and when the opportunity came up, the Big Twin class was a natural fit for us. We make Harley parts for the last over 50 years, so we make parts that, you know, fit all the way back to Knucklehead, UL80s, all the way through the current bikes. So we figured this would be a perfect opportunity to get out, meet some people, and help support the sport.
Now, can you tell us about one of your products that we may be seeing out there and kind of what it does and how it runs the bike?
Yeah, the M8 cams. This is the Harley cam that's been in the bikes since 2017. This is one of our newer offerings, our 465B. It's a great bolt-in cam. It produces more horsepower and torque than any other bolt-in cam out there. And yeah, I'm sure a number of people will be riding and racing this type of cam or one of the other cams we make.
That's awesome. You guys, everyone out there is looking for more torque, right?
Absolutely.
All right, y'all stay tuned, because later today you will see Andrews Products sponsoring the Big Twin class. I'm excited for some racing. I bet you are too. It's gonna be a good class with some fast guys.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Tim from Lloyd's Garage, and we're here in Pittsburgh today at the Bagger Racing League, and we are having a huge time. Yesterday was a great day. We had Hawk finishing second, Josh finishing second, had a third, and then today, weather didn't agree with us, but hey, Josh went out and just finished second, so we're looking forward to this.
We got 3 classes taken to the grid. The first one will be the DP Brakes FS Cup.
Benny Carlson, Suburban Motors HD rider. Benny, round 1 FS Cup, 2nd place, Bagger GP, 3rd place. How are you feeling after round 1's performance?
I think it's going to be good. We, you know, we kind of went to dinner last night. We kind of learned what we maybe did wrong and right. So we just changed some fork settings and some rear shock settings. So we were a tick off, but you know, today's a new day, and we got a little bit more track time here this morning. So the chassis setup things that we changed are going to help. I think we'll be running up front here this afternoon.
Round 2 after practice, how are you feeling?
I feel great. Like I said, we've made some changes. All the guys at Suburban Motors, Harley-Davidson, Sly Fox Racing have been working hard, and we'll be up front. We always are.
Benny Carlson's going to be up front later today in round 2.
Oh, the gang from Icon know how to do it. All Sportsters, all air-cooled.
We're here at round 2 with Jake Masters. Round 1, your first street bike race ever. You podiumed. How did that feel?
Felt good. I just planned to go and finish the race, but I ended up having a good one, and I felt a bit of speed and ended up pulling up with 3rd. So I'm really pumped on that, yeah.
All right, we're at round 2. You already got practice in this morning. You're gonna race a little later on. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I went out and put some solid laps in practice. I didn't do the whole practice because that's all I needed to do. The teams have got the bikes working so good, so I really just want to go out there and have another good race, finish the day strong, and walk out of it. So that's all I'm pumped for.
All right, is it a special day today? I think we need to tell him happy birthday.
Thank you. Yes, it's my birthday, so extra special if I get a good position.
Hopefully we'll see him on the podium. A nice little birthday gift today.
Thank you.
Carson Brown, Suburban Motors HD lightweight twin rider. In round 1, you finished on the podium, 2nd place. How were you feeling with your performance?
You know, I'm feeling really good. We got better throughout the day. I had my best lap time during the race, so I'm hoping I can keep the momentum going into the 2nd day here. It shows that it might rain a little bit later for the races, so I'm excited to see how that rolls, and yeah.
Round 2 might be a little rain in the air. We're not sure yet. Do you have any experience on the street with some rain?
Honestly, I don't at all, but I'm always up for a new challenge. Worst case, I just look at what all the other guys are doing and then hopefully put a little bit of my twist on it and keep it going good.
We'll see what happens later today. You never know. That's racing, but we're excited for round 2.
Henry Froddick's big twin, smaller class, big action. Keep your eye on Lucas Gibu.
Lucas Jabu, your first place finisher in Big Twins at round 1. What can we expect in round 2?
We're going to expect another P1 with a little bit more of a gap from P2 this time, hopefully. You have a little bit of a cushion. But yeah, definitely made some changes to the bike and our game plan for the race, and then go out there and see if we can replicate what we did yesterday.
Do you have a game plan if it rains today?
We're still going to race if it rains. Depending on how much it rains, we'll see if we go to rain tires or not. But the plan is to finish just so we can stay in points. You know, we're not going to go out there, we're not going to try to wild the bike up or anything like that. So if we win, awesome. But finishing is going to be the goal for the rain. But yeah, we're going to see what we can do.
Finishing's the goal, but winning again in the Big Twins class at round 2, that's the ultimate goal. We'll see if it happens.
Well, Tom, we've seen from him. Now we're going to watch him in action. Right now, Benny Carlson launches off the line. Corey Cowan, so far in 2023, has not tasted defeat, and he's already back to the number 3 spot.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him. He rocketed off the starting line right there. And, I mean, he went from, what, 3rd or 4th right to the front of the pack.
Right away, Corey Cowan now gets through the, kind of threads the needle, gets past Josh Baird and Benny Carlson. Benny Carlson on the Suburban Pan American. Baird on the Lloyd's Garage Indian, and out front on the Alloy Art Pan American is Corey Cowan once again, and you see the stream of riders behind him. Icon Lightweight, guys like Cody Gilmore, Jake Masters from Australia, Carson Brown, the first Red Bull road racer we've ever had. Great to have him with us. And then Lucas and Robert Parker back there battling. This is really an action-packed class. And Corey Cowan on the Alloy Art Pan American showing everybody the hot line.
Yeah, just a testament to how this class is growing and the whole sport is growing thanks to the BRL, that you're seeing that companies like Red Bull put effort into their athletes, and they're bringing a motocross, supercross guy over because of his talent on a motorcycle, and you're going to see Carson Brown do very well at this, and this is just one of his first attempts at this type of racing.
Yeah, he's very young at it. Jake Masters actually opened up the series with a 3rd place finish. We'll see how he does here today at round number 2, but Corey Cowan, Tom, he just didn't ride away from that pack. He's kind of broken him, I think.
Yeah, he's broke away. I mean, he definitely put in a couple really good laps here in the beginning of this event, and I mean, he's got a pretty comfortable lead right now.
One of the things that we talked about earlier in the broadcast was the rain. Right now it looks like it's subsided. Now we do see some mist coming up, but we know when it dries out like it looks like there, all of a sudden these wets do not work that well. They have a little bit of an advantage in the big wet, but Tom, they don't work well in the dry. The track is in that in-between limbo stage.
Yeah, it's to the point where the rain's not coming down real hard, the track's not dry enough. I mean, this is where rider preference makes a difference. If they had a choice to what they were going to start out on, may be different than what you wanted to end up with. But when you look and you see some parts of the racetrack right now, there isn't even any water laying on there, but they go a little bit farther and there's still some puddles on the track.
Yeah, that's the thing about Mother Nature. She's not too cautious where she lays it down. It could be anywhere. So right now, this crew of riders is in limbo. They have wets on for sure. They know that in the really damp sections, they're doing great. Josh Baird right now, dragging these around the corner in a damp section of track. Tough thing is, I think, as it gets a little drier, as this race goes on, and the day, you're going to have to make a decision which way you want to go.
Yeah, you're going to have to make that decision, like what you want to start out the race with, because it's definitely going to be different at the finish than it is at the start. So you've got to pick the tire that you feel most comfortable with for the duration. Maybe you're not comfortable the first lap or two, but the later laps in the race, you have more confidence, you can go faster, and it only helps you out with have a better finish.
It's so funny how this works. Josh Baird, it looks like, oh, he's out of the scene for a moment, and he roars back in. Right now, I don't see Benny Carlson latched onto the back of him, so Josh Baird may have been able to break away a bit as well.
Yeah, these front two guys are pulling away a little bit here from the third place rider right now, and they're definitely gaining a little momentum.
Just that quickly, though, he does come back in the view.
Right into the picture.
So he's still right there. That's the thing I'm telling you, never count Benny Carlson out of any of these races. And he's closed it back up again. Joe Hupp, his team sponsor and owner, has been with Benny for the majority of his Harley-Davidson racing career. It could be some of the hooligan stuff. It could have been the XR 1200s back in the day. And when this started, they put him on baggers. They put him on Dynas. He raced Sportsters. He races Pan Americans. He is the jackknife of all trades when it comes to this.
He definitely has raced a variety of motorcycles, and I mean, he's a great rider, and he's shown you why he is a great rider right now.
He's closing back up on the Josh Baird now. The Suburban Pan American starts to come alive, and we're seeing what's happening again as this track begins to dry out. So Benny's still a little mist coming off, so there's still just enough water laying out there keeping the temperature of these tires down. But you can almost see a little bit of the sun peeking through as it's shining off his helmet now.
Yeah, and you can see that all these riders are getting more confidence because their body language on the motorcycle. They're starting to get a little bit further off and hang off on the side of the bike a little bit more. So you know that they're starting to feel the traction and feel like, hey, the bike's gripping better. I can lean it or have the lean angle over a little bit more, which results in them going faster.
The top three in this class have all bunched back up. Cowan, Baird, and Carlson. So lap, though, starting to wind down. They talked about it earlier today in the wets. They were going to make sure. And look what happened right here, just that quickly. We have a couple riders that are coming up, and Benny Carlson appears to have made a pass now. Just when we kind of rode him off, he gets up around Josh Baird.
He went right by. I don't know if he had a little problem with the bike, but he's dropping back to where maybe something happened or he just made a mistake, missed a shift, a braking point, but he definitely lost the position.
Cody Gilmore comes into the screen right now, and it looks like Jake Masters and some of the other riders have really hooked up out on the track. These are in the Icon Lightweight Twin classes, and these are all Sportster-based machines. And we're watching there, Cody Gilmore, 374, the 51 of Jake Masters. Look at a couple of these other athletes out there. We know Megan Anderson's out there, Tyler Puza's out there, Dalton Wilson's on the track right now. And all of these guys and gals are in this battle starting to shape up. And we've got California riders taking on an Australian, the Suburban XR 1200 of Jake Masters. Now, it looks like he's going to try to go the long way around. Lucas Gaboo out there, he's on an FXR. He's in the big twin class, and he's starting to gather up these riders. And Masters goes to the outside.
Oh, you saw a little bit of contact there, but it just shows you the confidence these guys have. They were getting really close. Neither one of them flinched. The bikes bumped a little bit, but they both stayed upright, and they're continuing on in the race.
Dalton Willison is that rider on the orange XR 1200. Lucas Gaboo is starting to come up on the FXR. He's in the Andrews Big Twin class. These are the Icon Lightweight Twins riders. Again, anybody could be in the Icon Lightweight class if you're on a Sportster-based machine. These are XR 1200s. And Jake Masters, the Australian rider right now, came over here. He could do motocross, freestyle, street stunt, and he picked up the Harley-Davidson, and Joe Hupp gave him a ride, and he rewarded him with a third place yesterday. Looks like he's back in a similar finishing spot today.
Very talented rider, very versatile, and he's shown his skill today.
Carson Brown and Cody Gilmore up in front. It looks like the Suburban crew are going to try to sweep the podium. Rider off the side of the track right there, hand up. I can't say I tell you who that is at this moment. These riders are very well trained in the etiquette of road racing. Certain things, they take their foot off the pedals to indicate certain things they'll be pulling into the paddock. And this one's getting late, and it looks like Carson Brown, the Red Bull athlete, may have this one. That's the 910 machine. In behind him, I believe that's Cody Gilmore. And the big drag race, the XR 1200s, it's the white flag is out. Carson Brown, the Icon / Red Bull athlete, Cody Gilmore, and in that pack as well, Jake Masters. And now Corey Cowan, for the first time today, is starting to really feel some pressure from Benny Carlson late in the race. Comes back out of the tree line. And you can hear the roar coming in the view, and it is the number 1 in the 45. So Corey Cowan out front, but Benny Carlson, he's found the afterburners late in this race.
He definitely has made a good charge here in the later part of the race, and pretty exciting to see. Like, hopefully he makes a run for the checkered here.
Almost shoulder to shoulder, bar to bar, and knee puck to knee puck coming out of the final corner. Big drag race here. And the checker flag waves. They had to sweep out of the draft. Corey Cowan holds off Benny Carlson. Some other races on the track still yet to be decided. The Icon Lightweight Twins class. I believe that's Carson Brown, number 910, that comes back in the view. Cody Gilmore, 374. Jake Masters had last checked in the number 3 spot. Suburban Harley-Davidson going for the podium sweep in the Icon Lightweight Twin class. Carson Brown, the Red Bull athlete. Cody Gilmore, if you pull into the Daytona Speedway, he's on the wall down there. And checker flag for Red Bull's Carson Brown. Cody Gilmore takes the number 2 spot, and there's a yellow flag out. Word up in the press box is that both Jake Masters and Dalton Williamson have gone down in the final corner. They're on the deck. Who's going to come across the line in third? It's Megan Anderson. Action, drama, all of it rounds up DP Brakes on the podium. Let's go down to Kristen Banks.
We're down here with your DP Brakes FS Cup champion, Corey Cowan. Now you're going home this weekend, winning 4 out of 4 races. How does that feel?
It feels amazing, man. The facility's great, the track was great. Conditions were a little challenging today with the rain and drying conditions here and there, but yeah, it feels pretty amazing. This is kind of a dream of everybody that, does any sort of competitive thing, is to sweep a weekend, and I was able to achieve it, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Congratulations to Corey Cowan on his first place finish.
Official results in the Icon Lightweight Twins shows that Megan Anderson, one of our lady competitors, rounded out the podium with the 3rd, Cody Gilmore in the number 2 spot, and Red Bull's Carson Brown on the top step.
Carson Brown, your winner of Icon Lightweight Twins. Carson, yesterday you came off the track thinking you had the win. With 3 classes in one, it's kind of hard to tell who's in what class, but today you actually came off the track with the win. How awesome does that feel?
Oh, it feels so great. It rained a bit before our race, didn't know what to expect. They put the rain tires on. They told me it would have some grip, and luckily it did. And yeah, Cody kept me honest the whole way though, so I think we're gonna have some good battles throughout the whole year with him and also my teammate Jake, so I'm excited.
You guys stay tuned because you have 3 awesome teammates with Suburban Motors HD, and they're going to make things interesting this year in the lightweight twins class.
The big twins, not a lot of riders, but Lucas Gibo, the heart of an absolute dinosaur. We love this guy. Let's go down one more time with Kristen Banks.
Down here with your Andrews Big Twin winner again, Lucas Jabu. Lucas, you've had quite the weekend. You were on the top step yesterday. You came back again today. Did you make any adjustments before round 2 with the rain and everything?
No, it's pretty much just getting the game plan ready and, get set up for the rain, make some adjustments, and try to finish the race, just be safe and finish. Points are where it's at in the championship, not a single race, so we finished out front, which is always a bonus. So now we go on to, Black Hawk Farms in Illinois and try to get it some more.
Going on to round 3 with a bunch of points. Give it up for Lucas Jabu.
Bagger GP, the NAMS Bagger GP, our final race of the weekend. Did they make the right call? Are they on slicks? Are they still on wets? All of these decisions, all of the action is going to take place here. Round 2, Pittsburgh International Raceway, NAMS Bagger GP coming up next.
Trans Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
Welcome back to the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Newcastle Harley-Davidson, the NAMS Bagger GP, the final, the grand finale of the weekend. Let's go down trackside and talk to the NAMS president, Jeff Zielinski.
I have Jeff Zielinski here with NAMS Custom Cycle Products, who's going to be our Bagger GP sponsor this weekend, maybe for the rest of the year. How did you guys come about that?
Actually, Rob asked us to change from the Big Twin class a couple months ago, and we said we would, whatever we need to do to try to help. We've been a sponsor since it started a couple years ago, so we signed up again for a third year, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, you guys got a nice little setup out here in Pittsburgh. Can you just tell us, maybe feature a couple products that you guys sell?
Sure. I think the biggest one, if you haven't noticed already, a lot of the racers are using our new fuel injection system. It's a harness that we created for the CAN bus bikes, which are 2015 or 2014 and up, which enables them to get rid of the body control module and some of the other features that just cause issues with compatibility on the racetrack. So we partnered up with the guys at ThunderMax, good friends of ours, and we put together a kit that eliminates everything. And there's a lot of guys on the track today that are going to be running it. So that's probably our biggest.
That's awesome. Now, Bagger GP, that's like the big deal. The last race, there's some guys out there that, some good competition. Who should the fans be on the lookout for in that class?
I don't like to pick favorites. I don't know, there's a guy with a turbo that seems to be cleaning up, so I'm not gonna mention any names, but he's a good friend and he's in the hamsters with me, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, you guys, we're not gonna say any names. I put him in a bad spot, but y'all stay tuned for that Bagger GP class because it's going to be a good one.
All right, we've got day 2 of Battle of the Baggers over here at the Drag Specialties BRL event, Pittsburgh International Speedway, Raceway. It's raining out, 63 degrees. We've got the Flying Pig set up. We put some rain rubber on it. We're getting Jesse set up to go out there on the wet track. Our good friends over at Alloy Art set us up with some pantyhose from the Beaver Jam, Beaver, wherever we're at, Dollar General. So we got some pantyhose on the air cleaner. We're ready to get Jesse out there and hit the track.
Well, the Bagger GP guys are going to have the biggest decision of the weekend, Tom. Stay on wets or go to slicks.
Yeah, this is where the strategy comes in. Do you give up a little in the beginning and have a better finish?
Well, we're going to find all that out. Let's go down to trackside one more time.
We're here with Jesse Janis, round 2, getting geared up to go out. Round 1, how do you think it went?
I mean, so-so, I guess. It was good and it was bad. We had the pace to run up front. We were just kind of losing a little bit to the leaders there, so I made a quick move on Benny, and man, I was closing the gap really quick to Hawk and Shane there, but I was just pushing a little too hard, got a little sideways there, and just ran out of real estate. So I had to go through the grass. I mean, a little wild, I guess, but dirt track routes, it's okay. Got back on the track in 4th and just kind of brought it home a lonely 4th. It's disappointing for the boys here. Like, they work hard all along off season, obviously, and I just really wanted to put it on the podium, but I also wasn't going to be complacent with a 3rd. So it's like, it was good and bad.
Now, I hope it's on video because no one would believe it, but the crowd got insanely loud. When you went through the grass somehow without going down is very impressive, actually. Round 2 today, you're about to go out for practice. What expectations do you have for yourself?
I mean, just try to take what I learned yesterday. A lot of the riding style was different in the race, riding with those guys. Obviously, it's been a little bit since I've been, back road racing. So a lot of just how they brake and their line choice was a little different. So I was trying to learn in the race, and I'm trying to learn every time I get on the bike. So just try to apply that today. I mean, we might have weather in the air, so we might be throwing it all out the window later with a rain race. We don't know, but I'm hoping it's going to stay dry. So we'll see. We can't control that.
If it does stay wet, do you have any experience? I mean, it's been a while on a road, right?
With
rain?
I have more experience sliding than everybody else in the class.
Okay.
So we got that going
Little
for us.
AFT
but
in there?
I don't necessarily think that's a big advantage. So the last time I rode in the rain was, I would assume, probably 2004. I don't know. It's definitely been a minute. Yeah, we're just going to get out there and certainly play it cautious and, just try to collect our points and we'll see where we are. I mean, I'm going to try to go as fast as whoever's in front of me. But, the rain it's always called the great equalizer, so we'll see.
Well, good luck, and we're ready for round 2. Shane Narbonne, Trask Performance, your 2-time defending Bagger GP champion. Round 1 went down. You finished on top of the podium, but you had Hawk Mazada right there behind you. Are you a little worried about round 2?
No, of course. I mean, it's just another race. We tried changing some stuff last night, so we only got a warm-up lap this morning in practice. So it felt better in the warm-up lap. So hopefully the rain holds off, and it'll be another good race.
Hopefully the rain holds off. Will your bike be together? Because behind us it's looking a little in pieces.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is our first time doing this for sure, and these guys are working hard at it, so we'll get it done.
They'll get it done. We'll see the 2-time defending champion later in round 2.
Well, the NAMS Bagger GP guys are down on the line. We had some of the Metzler Pro Stock guys. They had an opportunity to come into the back of the grid. We see Clay Braun. We see Tony Tucker out there. How about Oleg Plychek out there on the 99? That's the Alloy Art. They call that bike the Mullet.
Yeah, you can see the track has dried up a lot, Rob. You can see there's not any water land on there. It's not heated up yet, so that's going to make a difference in the beginning of the race, especially until the tires get warmed up. But you have to give and take here, and you can see there's still a lot of traction because these bikes are wheeling off the start.
Yeah, wheeling, and look at Tony Tucker come slicing, dicing through the pack. Now, you do see a bit of water. Benny Carlson, he's on the number 9. Stan Fox made that number famous. I know that Paula Fox is watching at home right now, and we certainly miss Fred Fox, a pioneer in the sport of this. He was the first big sponsor. We lost Fred a short time ago, and he will never be forgotten. But right now, the number 9 on the Sly Glide is out front, Suburban Harley-Davidson, and all the way up into the number 2 spot, Clay Braun from the back row.
Yeah, you can see the confidence he has right now. I mean, he is pulling away, so he's got to put together consistent laps to make this lead stick and have a great finish here at the end.
Well, Benny Carlson again on the Sly Fox Suburban Harley-Davidson Road Glide. This bike was raced at the very first ever Bagger race, and it's morphed and grown, and Alex has come out with more carbon fiber, and Joe's got better suspension components thanks to Alloy Art, and Legend suspension is on it. Then he got into some wheels, and things have really come a long way on this bike, and it's now not only a front runner, he's starting to break away.
Yeah, he's showing exactly what all that effort, the result of it is. I mean, he's pulling away from these guys. He knows his bike is nice and light and reliable now with all these parts on it.
You're right, the aftermarket industry has addressed these bikes, the parts, even the apparel. We see so many of the companies, Alpine Stars for instance. How many times did a Harley guy walk into a shop and buy an Alpine Stars road racing suit? It's a lot more common right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the Tech Air vest that these guys are wearing, it's a great safety device. I mean, you can't even tell that these guys are wearing that device underneath their racing leathers, but it's designed to, if the unfortunate thing happens where they do fly off the bike, it's an airbag for the body, and what a great safety device from the company Alpine Star, the Tech Air vest.
Jesse Janis, the flat trackers, got around Shane Narbonne. Now Jesse Janis, you can see just a little bit of damp pavement out there. If he's on wets, this is going to dry out a little bit too fast for him. He's going to have a challenge. Benny Carlson, he's a Bridgestone rider, and I know that he's on slicks right now. I've seen the bike, and it looks like he made an incredible decision with which tire to go with.
Yeah, he was confident starting with the slicks, and he made the right choice because he's got a big lead right now. Oh, we got a crash.
Clay Braun from California, he was so fast in the wet. As soon as the track dried out, he may have been one of those riders that didn't make the tire switch, and he's down on the deck. I know Clay's gone down a couple times. Knowing the type of guy he is, he'll have that bike back in the paddock. He and his crew will be working on it, and he will not miss a lap of the rest of the races he's in.
The one thing comforting that you saw him, he's standing there beside the bike. So hopefully he did not hurt himself. Get that bike up, get it fixed up, and he'll be ready for the next round.
The Flying Pig, as they call it, that fueling bike. Jesse Janis last year rode for Vance and Hines and won the Flat Track Championship. They merged all the classes together. He was left without a ride. Right now, Luke Leatherman picked him up. He had Ben Bostrom obviously on the bike, and Jesse Janis with that flat track background, a natural at this. Here it is in his first Bagger GP weekend. Tommy's already up running in the number 2 spot in the second main.
Yeah, Luke is another testament to this. I mean, he's been here from the beginning. His company Fueling, he's put a lot of time and effort in the development of the Harley-Davidson parts, and it's showing right now. I mean, he has a quality motorcycle, reliable parts, and I mean, the guy's doing a great job on the motorcycle for one of his first events of the 23 season.
Clay Braun, you saw him down there, what would be the final turn on the track. He's safely away from the bike. He's fine. He's just going to wait for the safety crew to get out there. And here comes this big drag race. That's the Lloyd's Garage bike. And the mullet, Oleg Plychek, is on fire right now. Rider number 99 starts to run up the inside of the 121. That's the Lloyd's Garage Indian Challenger. And Oleg is going to try to take him on the outside.
Yeah, these guys are putting on a great battle. And I mean, they are definitely putting on a show for the spectators.
Heard through the grapevine that a couple new riders are going to be looking at the Indian Challenger as their choice of race bike. I know that Steve Chamberlain's been riding one exclusively on the street, and he's a big, big fan of it. I think we'll see more and more Challengers as the sport continues to grow.
As we continue through the year, I mean, the Indian is a great motorcycle as a starting point, but the guys that are riding the Harley-Davidsons with the companies behind them, I mean, they're showing here today the Harley-Davidson is a competitive motorcycle.
Yeah, the aftermarket have done such a great job with it. We were speaking of some of the companies earlier, you know, Alloy Art with the suspension components. They figured out a way to shave the engine down, making the engine much smaller. Gives you a lot more ground clearance, a lot more lean angle. That's how they're working on it. They make a swing arm that's almost mandatory for these bikes. The suspension components, much larger, taller, much beefier. They have reservoirs. You can make compression and rebound adjustments on them. They've come a long way. Right now, though, that Lloyd's Garage Indian Challenger with Hawk Mazada on board, that's a very formidable bike. Jesse Janis has opened up a bigger gap again. Now he's up into the number 2 spot. Mazada back in number 3 spot. And slightly in behind him, we watch as they continue to fight and claw. Oleg is trying to really put that alloy art. That bike sounds really crispy right now as they head into one of the final corners on this track. Little huckabuck coming out of the corner right there. Another drag race in the Indian Challenger. And just listen to that machine come down. The 130 cubic inch motor that Robbie Lane put together for the mullet there. Very formidable, big torque numbers, big high top end. And you can see that bike air-cooled, starting to be very competitive against these liquid-cooled Indians.
Yeah, they've figured out how many RPMs they can run and like what is the maximum RPM that you can run the motor to where it still has the longevity to be able to finish these races. And those guys have figured out they don't want to go too high because the motor will have a failure, and if you don't have it high enough, they're not going to get the performance or the top speed out of it like maybe the Indian has. So it's a fine line, and that's the part about racing that everybody loves. How far can you push the motorcycle?
Well, these guys right now are pushing it to the limit. Obviously, the track has dried out quite a bit. When we last checked the front of the pack, Benny Carlson had come and gone with quite a lead right now. And Jesse Janis was firmly in the number 2 spot, the flat tracker turned bagger GP racer. And Oleg Plychek right now, he's doing work out there. Robbie Lane's got to be incredibly excited about the number 99, and not only its return to racing, but how strong that bike is running today. So time is starting to wind down here. We're late in the NAMS Bagger GP class. Decisions were made, dries, wets. Janis made the right decision, obviously. You look a little farther back. Hawk Mazzotta, I believe he's on wets right now because I know how fast that bike is and what he's capable of. And right now, I think he is managing that race bike.
Yeah, and you have to think, the guy with the biggest smile on their face right now, who took a gamble, the only one I think that took the gamble to start the race on slicks, is smiling with a big lead. And if he doesn't do some mistake and puts together the rest of the consistent laps, guess who's getting the checkered flag first?
Yeah, he'll be coming across the line, and you can see right now these riders drag race, a couple guys still checking over the shoulder. They want to get a bearing on it. There is the number 9, the Sly Glide. Alex Fox and Joe Hupp teamed up on this bike a couple years ago. They got the purple wheels. They've got all the accents. They call it the Grimace Glide when they're out there. We could have had one of those shakes today.
Yeah, we tried to get one of those shakes, but they discontinued that for this time being.
Benny Carlson, 45 on the back of the leathers, the number 9 on the bike. Again, made famous by midget and IndyCar racer Stan Fox. Alex Fox keeps that number close and near to his heart, and they've run that on the Bagger GP bike since it was brought out here. Benny Carlson, dragging knees.
That's how confident he is right now. From a track that was full of rain and water puddles to it's drying up, still isn't have as much heat as it did the day before. He's dragging his knee, and he's got that bike leaned over as far as it'll go.
Back down that front straight one more time. And you can see him urging on the crowd as the checker flag waves for Benny Carlson. Jesse Janis going to bring it home in the number 2 spot, and that was an amazing first attempt at bagger racing for Jesse Janis. There comes the number 1 machine, Shane Narbone. Shane did not get the type of second main event he was hoping for. He did finish, though, in the number 6 spot. I believe he had a little something that popped up. He nursed the machine home, and that's how you win the championships. He easily could have pulled in and said, I'm done. Nope, I'm going to finish. Carlson kind of soaking it all in right now. Carlson, Janis, Mazzotta, Pajek, Tony Tucker in 5th, Shane Narbone 6th, Brian Shields and Clay Braun, unfortunately, DNF, the NAMS Bagger GP.
Benny Carlson, your Bagger GP winner for round 2. Benny, you're in a race of your own out there. I noticed a difference between the tire choice. Who kind of made that choice, and was it a last-minute decision?
It was. Joe pretty much made a decision. We've made a mistake very similar a couple years ago at a race, and we decided, hey, we're going to go with slicks, and that's exactly what we did. So, it was a league of our own. It wasn't super difficult, but it was kind of dodgy, kind of making that if you never know if it's going to rain mid-race. But, hey, we came out the champion today, and that's all you can hope for.
Congratulations to Benny Carlson on his round 2 Bagger GP win.
Thank you.
The podium is obviously the greatest time of the day, Tom, but this race weekend has been incredible. We've had sunshine, we've had rain, we've had crashes, we've had drama, and we had a record capacity crowd show up. This is stop number 1 and number 2 of the BRL. We had the Blackhawk Farms for stop 3 and 4. We'll be there July 15th and 16th. We want everybody to join us. For Tom Carson and Rob Bitus, we're signing off from Pitt Raceway.